The Pam Stone Show.
Now back to the Pam Stone Show.
See, the thing that's so much fun about doing ADD radio is you plan to do something. We'd plan to come back with a bit. But guess who just walked into the studio because she's doing a show? It's Paula Poundstone. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the best comics working ever who is really congested. Hey, Paula, guess what?
I'm really congested today.
You're really congested.
I'm here for the Congestion Festival that I understand starts in May.
It's a corporate gig, isn't it? Aren't you doing congestion? Or isn't it for a certain product that was in your hotel room last night?
Yeah.
What happened?
They have the ionizer. I'm passing along some news that I read. I read an article that said those air purifier, the ionizer things, create smog. And they create what's called ozone, which, according to the article I read, when it's up high in the sky, that's a good thing. When it's down low, it's smog, and it's not good.
But wait a minute. We see these commercials all the time on TV, Sharper Image, the ionizer.
Right.
Ionizer?
That's the one.
So,
yeah.
You sound like crap.
Yeah. It makes you, according to the article, and it could be a total coincidence that I happen to be sick today after spending the night in a small room with one. I also didn't sleep that much, and there's a lot of other extenuating circumstances that will be brought up in the trial.
But you can't talk about that right now.
I can't talk about that at this time. No, my attorney isn't allowing me at this time. But
I need to ask your cat, Hepcat, about this. What would Hepcat say?
Hep never liked the idea. We used an air purifier just briefly. I got one at a pet expo that was like on a trial basis. Yeah. And we have 9 cats, a big stupid dog, and a bearded dragon lizard in the house. And so we thought, the pet people told me it would like help with the smell and basically when there's big chunks of fur flying around, it's not like there's some little, electrode thing that's going to take them out. You know what I mean? Yeah. There was no magic that was going to happen in the air.
You're not supposed to have those bearded dragons in the house.
Well, he's not just running around the house. He's in a tank.
Yep, salmonella.
Oh, no, I didn't know that.
Yeah, man. That was the first thing I learned on this radio show because we have lizards everywhere in the summer, and the babies
That's if you lick them, Pam.
No, I pet them on their heads, the ones that are just born that I'll see out on the steps sunning themselves. They look like little tiny dinosaurs. I'm like, oh, it would put you on the head. And I was scolded by so many listeners saying, you get salmonella if you touch that and you just touch your eye or your mouth or something.
I didn't know that, although I do wash my hands after petting Daisy. I'll tell you, you can tell Daisy the bearded dragon. I don't often let the children name the pets because I always say to them, you guys are going to be off at college and I'm going to be stuck with Fluffy, So normally which is how we, that now our bunny's name is Softy because clearly I turned over the reins on the naming that time.
Yeah, are your children experimenting with adjectives?
Well, kids tend to do that. They tend to look at something and then name it. And I said, well, if that was the case, then you would be Pinky.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Because they weren't pretty babies; they were just sort of pink, smushy things. So yeah. But my first bunny's name was Fanny Bryce, and my second bunny was Margaret Dumont.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Well, that's very hip and very show business. Yeah. So listen,
they died really early though. Apparently, they have to have a dorky name to live a long time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, a hip name will kill an animal early.
Jeepers,
I should have turned off that ionizer thing.
You really should have. Hey, let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Would you like to have my radio show?
Yes.
This is our last show today.
No, it's
not.
Get out.
It is so totally. I mean, if my audience is very well behaved and they don't bombard the station with hate calls and stuff and threats, they'll let us go for 2 more weeks. But for the actual format that is, we're working stuff out. But if you want a radio show, you might be able to get one.
What do you wait, I'm so confused. First we're talking about bad air.
Yeah.
And now suddenly we're planning your life. What do you mean it's your last radio show?
Because you know how radio is sold in 4-hour blocks, like radio show, shows are 4. You know that, like
no, I didn't know that.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't.
What do you listen to? Do you ever listen to the radio?
I listen to the radio. But I didn't know it was sold in 4-hour blocks.
Well, see, I didn't either when I started. So they said, do you want a 2-hour show? Fine. I said, yeah. And they put Shoemaker on after me for 3 hours. That filled out like this 5 block. It's either 4 or 5 blocks. I still don't really know.
Yeah.
And then his show just didn't do well. So it disappeared. Right. They tried really hard to find another 3-hour show to go behind mine. But there's not any. because nobody does a 3-hour show. Right. So they asked me to do 4 hours, and I said, I just can't do 4 hours. I just can't. And in the shack and everything, I love that, but I don't think people could listen to it, and physically, I don't think I could do it. So we're working at trying to figure out something else, and I'm going to remain at the link. But this show in this format right now is going away.
What are you, a wuss? What do you mean you can't do 4 hours? I can't believe I'm listening to a human being say this. Pam, you've been in the shack a little bit too long. I got to tell you, in most of the world, people work a few more hours. You know what I'm saying? When I read this, I think I heard on public radio one time, I heard...
Don't ever say that here. Rick gets so pissed off whenever I mention NPR.
Oh.
Because I listen to him all the time, but he says, don't ever say that
They're
on the radio.
going to add another 15 minutes to your shift if you don't cut it out.
Yeah, what are they going to do, fire me?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I honestly cannot believe that I'm having this conversation with an adult functioning human being. It's freaking.
I'm in a shack with no plumbing. It is really cold in the winter. It is really hot. It's like Amnesty International is banging on my door.
You didn't think of that when you started to do a show in a shack? No, it didn't occur to you that there might be... Okay, listen.
Thinking very kind of prairie home companion from the farm, talk about the roses blooming outside the window and the fox.
Prairie home companion is not done in a farm.
I know.
It's in a theater.
I know.
With heat and plumbing. What's the matter with you? You're not experiencing enough life, I think. And what's happening is you've sequestered yourself in an environment.
Unabomber shack.
In a shack.
Unabomber.
That was totally of your own choosing.
Yes.
And the fact that it has no plumbing, whose fault is that? You haven't made a ton of money that you couldn't put some plumbing in there, for heaven's sakes?
Do you know it has taken me a year to get the station to pay Caruth Furniture and Landrum the $200 air conditioning vent that's sitting in the wall now?
Oh, those are bad for you.
That is not...
Oh, my God, I can't believe you got that.
Here.
Yeah, that's going to suck the life out of you. You sound funny.
I am? Oh, no,
listen, Pam, this is important. Okay, because I just want you to have a taste of the world. Because I feel like maybe what's happened is you're kind of in this ivory tower.
Paula!
And you don't really know what's going on in the rest of the world.
I've been on the road for 20 years. Come on.
I heard this story on this other radio source.
Yeah.
And about the people who make, I can't remember what third world country it was.
Stop it. That's not fair. I'm all for free trade.
Where they make the Happy Meal toys.
Stop it. You know I'm a Democrat. Stop it. This is not fair. I go to
they work for like 16 hours.
Right. They work for 16 hours a day.
Stop it.
They get paid like literally pennies an hour. And the reason the story was on the news was that they had gone on strike, Pam, so you might want to think about that.
Stop it. Tell us where you're going to be appearing this weekend.
They had gone on strike.
We have like 15 seconds.
After 24 hours of strike, they got an increase to 15 hours a day.
Stop it.
7 days a week and 5 cents.
It's not fair. You haven't heard our whole show for 2 hours. I'm a mental patient doing this show. It's so jackhammer and high energy. It's like it is right now. I can't do this for 4 hours.
Well, honey,
maybe. I can't do. They said, Paula, you could slow the pace down.
Yeah,
of the
you
show.
could, Pam. You could slow the pace down.
30 seconds.
That's what the Happy Meal people did.
Tell us where you're performing.
I don't know. Where am I performing?
I got a shop back and I know how to use it.
Where?
You tell me where you're performing.
Tell me again.
Well, where are you performing?
Hold on,
the McGlowan Theater.
The McGlowan Theater.
You don't even know that?
At 7 and 9:30. I had on headphones. I couldn't hear her talking.
Okay.
The McGlowan Theater at 7 and 9:30.
Rest your voice, and I'm going to talk to them about them giving you a show.
I can't believe... Not for 4 hours.